Well, I just wish somebody had told me this was a costume party. I would have come dressed as a fool.
What's going on here?
Ms. Lockridge is curious about Chantal Gutierrez and her connection to Dieter.
Not to mention their connection to the three of you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose we should lay it out for her.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Seems to me she has a right to know.
My sentiments exactly.
So why don't you take her out to the site and show her exactly what we have going on?
She's gonna... All right, fine. It's your decision.
Well, unless you can think of a better way to handle it.
Thank you. Let's go.
We'll hold down the fort while you're gone.
Yeah.
Wow, that was quick thinking. I can't believe she bought it.
Well, she won't buy it for long. How are you holding up?
Oh, better. I'm better than I was yesterday. Did you see Dieter?
Yeah, the missiles are arriving tonight.
Okay, so we make the exchange and then what?
Well, then we'll shove the biggest one underneath our boy, light it, and watch the fireworks. Will you relax? You keep working yourself up like this, you're going to be a wreck by the time Dieter calls.
No, I already am one. Anyway, I appreciate you being here.
It's not a problem.
I guess none of this has really changed the way you feel about me.
Actually, it has, some.
Not a lot.
Well, it's not going to short-circuit my memory if that's what you're hoping. But you have a lot of nerve, I'll give you that.
Well, you're not the only one with a very personal investment in this.
Yeah, so I gather. First I had you pegged real simple, just somebody who'd do just about anything to save her own neck.
Yeah, how you got that much right?
If there's more to it than that, because you could have bailed on this game when it turned nasty, but you didn't. Which means you were either tougher than I gave you credit for being or just plain crazy. I can't quite figure out which.
I think a little of both, actually. I just figured it was about time I took a stand on something, no matter how crazy. It seems like I've spent so many years of my life angling for the edge, looking for some kind of quick fix to get me what I want, and then I found myself over and over again walking away from a dream. I mean, if I wasn't being kicked out, you know, I want a chance to stick with something.
Enjoy it while you can, because it can be taken away from you in a heartbeat.
Oh, I know. I'd like to say to you that I'm really sorry about what happened with Eden. I'm not pretending to understand what you're going through right now, but I know what it's like to lose somebody. Even though Quinn and I weren't like you and Eden.
Listen, I'm going to go check on my kids. If you need to talk to me, you know the number. I'll be back in an hour.
Okay, thanks.
Don't mention it. Fine, thanks. How are you?
Hey, I don't have time for small talk, huh? Any ETA in the missiles?
Yeah, they're supposed to arrive this evening.
You and Beaufort ready for it?
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Lady's an amateur. I mean, she could panic. She could blow everything.
She won't.
And this entire assignment, perhaps even your life, on that.
Actually, I think Flame has done a pretty decent job so far. And besides, we're almost out of here. Before the ink is dried on the dotted line, I'm going to have that bastard in cuffs.
No. You won't do anything of the kind.
Excuse me?
You're not to touch the man. You're not to lay a finger on him even after the deal is done. No cuffs, no bust, no nothing except a satisfied customer. Your cover remains intact. You got that?
Just so I understand. By tonight, we will have the goods on Dieter to the extent that we could put him away indefinitely. But rather than put the lid on this and get rid of the man, the State Department, in its wisdom, is going to let him slip away.
Well, that's not your concern.
Look, Castillo.
Ever since you got this assignment, you've been following your own little agenda. Well, from now on, you're going to follow orders to the letter without question.
That's a remarkable concept.
Hey, if you can't do this, I'll find somebody who can. That's what I thought. Now, here's the rest of the money that we promised Dieter. Pay the man upon delivery, and then get the hell out of there. You got that?
Drew. Whatever you say.
I want a phone call when it's done.
Absolutely. Stupid pig-headed suit. CW!
Everyone's emerging from your office as if they're being shot out of a cannon. Are you entertaining the circus in here?
Only the clowns. What can I do for you?
Well, it seems my trusty assistant has disappeared. Her timing is particularly bad, given that I have a business deal pending that cannot be drawn to a conclusion without Cassie's presence. Now, she was last seen leaving the Oasis in the company of Officer Donnelly. Tell me, do I lodge a formal complaint, or do you possibly have a shortcut I could take?
Well, you can't file a missing persons report for at least 24 hours.
You aren't keeping up to date, Inspector. The latest guidelines state specifically that if a person disappears under mysterious circumstances, you can start investigations immediately.
Thank you for reminding me. If you'd like, I could have someone bring you the forms you'll need to fill out.
Exactly what I had in mind.
Then I'm afraid I can't help you.
Cruz, look. I'm worried about Cassie. She's behaving very strangely. She's asking leading questions about Helmut Dieter as if she knows he is not what he seems, and yet she's unwilling or perhaps she's unable to fill me in. Would you happen to know any reason why she's holding out on me?
What would Cassie possibly tell me, Mason, that she couldn't tell you?
Good question. And that's what worries me. You see, she knows how important this meeting with Dieter is. This entire buyout hinges on her presence.
So you said.
Oh. Well, since I'm repeating myself, I run the risk of boring you and ask you one more time. Do you have any information I might want to hear?
I don't have the slightest idea where Cassie is. But if I run across her, Mason, I will tell her that you are anxious to see her.
And who said it doesn't pay to have a friend on the force? Thank you for your time, Inspector. Good luck with the clowns.
Donnelly.
You better bring her back.
What happened?
There's a lot of people asking a lot of questions, and we can't afford to let any of it get back to Dieter. Is she threatening to talk?
Yeah, I think that we can count on that.
Well, we're going to have to come up with a way to stop her. We need her around here, but quiet.
Now, what do you have in mind?
How does she take the threats?
Relax, Inspector. Officer Donnelly didn't tell me anything I didn't already know. I figured out the important parts all by myself.
Officer Donnelly, I'm not worried about.
Oh, but me you are? Good. Good thinking. It's obvious that you're out to get Helmut Dieter for some reason. Well, I don't care about him. What you don't seem to realize is that you may end up hurting the Capwells in the process. And so I will say or do whatever I have to make sure that doesn't happen.
Cassie, if you so much as think of interfering with this investigation, not only will you do more harm to the Capwells than I ever could, I will personally throw you in jail for obstruction of justice. You understand?
Is that all, Inspector?
Well, I guess that's up to you.